Oh yeah, one more time to start dancing. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Selena Olivia is my name, and yeah, I want to share the story about how I was healing my childhood trauma, and then how that kind of led into me becoming an au pair, which is what I'm doing right now, where I am right now. Children are currently at school, the family is currently working, so I feel comfortable talking to myself in this room. Well, talking with you, but yeah, okay. Let's just be real. So, I had like 2 weeks, intense weeks, where I was watching Teal Swan videos, and I signed up for her premium membership, and I was watching her videos there. And she has these workshops, and she shares the videos from the workshops where you can do a lot of self exploration, gain self-awareness, and it's just a beautiful safe space for you to explore aspects of your being that may have been repressed, suppressed, depressed, and just feel more open within yourself and in a space of, because her videos and the workshops themselves, having a lot of people doing inner work, it just facilitates a beautiful space for you to feel safe in exploring yourself and these parts that maybe you've been afraid of recognizing, like how much pain we've felt or we feel, and how much anger rests within us, boils sometimes. Scary thoughts like suicide, and things like that. Yeah, so, and which, just saying all those three things in themselves, I can understand that it's like, okay, maybe I'm gonna back away from that. But us pretending like we don't feel certain things or trying to avoid is not removing the actual experience itself. It's still there, we're just choosing not to see it, you know? So I had 2 months of just really diving deeply into myself, and it was a ride. Okay, it was a roller coaster. Some days of just needing to go into my room and cry and just be with myself. Other days just going for a long walk outside and just feeling freer, and it was beautiful because it's like this release experience is what it was for me, at least. So so what I was doing, right, was healing a lots of inner child trauma, childhood traumas, and waking up to how much pain the part of me. So let's say you experience a trauma when you're like 4 years old. The experience of the trauma from your 4-year-old perspective is different from your perspective of it today. So in kind of facing and choosing to be present with the trauma, for the purpose of healing, because what they say about trauma is that it is an emotional distress that hasn't been resolved. It's an emotional stress that you weren't capable of processing, let's say, because you were 4 years old. So it's still within the being, but it's expressing itself in other ways that may not be directly consciously connected with the trauma itself, but it's still connected, and you're having these like patterns in your life that you're like, why does this keep on happening? And it's tied to that initial trauma that we're avoiding, but it's ever present until we are able to move through it, feel it, and then in that resolve it. And sometimes we need someone to do that with us. And for that, I recommend looking up someone like a completion process practitioner, which is something that Teal Swan offers, or someone else who's like a self-love coach. I also offer the emotional safe space. Wow, that bird is so beautiful. Oh, it's like yellow on the chest and the head. I haven't seen it before. That's really pretty. I offer something on my website called the Emotional Safe Space, and it's basically just having a call with me, and you're sharing whatever you're sharing, and you're allowed, right, to feel whatever you need to feel, whatever is attached to the experience that you want to share about. because we're so afraid of emotions, and so I feel unexperienced with our emotions, or unaware about the potency and importance of emotions. And I think a lot of people have a perspective of emotions that they're not for us, that they're against us, and that we need to be stronger above them. Like, I had the perspective as a kid that I remember I hadn't cried in a long time, and I was like, wow, I'm really getting stronger because I haven't cried in so long. But are you really getting stronger, or just becoming colder, harder in this shell, you know? Yeah, that's a whole other video, I feel, emotions. But so that's what I was doing, and doing that was triggering a lot in relation with my parents, and a lot of internal feelings that I had towards my parents. And what I love about emotions is that they're so multidimensional, meaning you can have your own perspective of, oh, I understand that my mom was going through this and that's why she made those decisions. But then when you look from it from a purely emotional perspective, or from one emotional perspective, then that perspective that you get from that emotion can be like completely not different, but like doesn't care about the awareness. Does that make sense? So the power of I think the power of practicing self-awareness allows you to be in the emotional state of mind, the emotional state of being, with the awareness, but still being able to facilitate a space within yourself to feel fully whatever it is you're feeling, and then to kind of have the awareness, the understanding as a safe space to go after you've had the emotional outpour. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm talking, like we're going into emotions, right? So to try and like make sense of it with the mind is not always easy, but yeah. So yeah, there was a lot going on at that time, and I think maybe I'll do a separate video if you guys want it, that goes more in depth of that experience. But what it led to was me feeling aware of how stuck I was feeling, and how, although I felt like I was moving up and out of the stuckness and through it, I needed something to change. And I felt like I needed to be the one to create the change, right? Like, I felt like I had been waiting for someone or something to create some kind of change that was going to help me out. And at this point, I was like, I actually need to create this change for me right now. And it was a difficult decision to become an au pair, because I have a little sister who's 5 years old. I have trauma myself from my dad leaving when I was 3 years old. And so I didn't want to cause her any trauma. And yeah, like that was the most difficult part about moving. That was the most challenging part, because I didn't know how she was going to take it. I didn't know how it was going to influence her, our relationship, and yeah, you know. So, but I decided to sign up for the website, and the website is called aupairworld.com. And it was free to sign up, put all of your information in there. I think I took like 3 days, so I used another like notes or docs to write in the answers to all of the sections from the website. Made it very easy, put all my information in there. I felt very clear on what to write, how to write. It felt very natural, like I was just saying, yeah, I'm naturally very caring. I'm good with kids. Kids usually like me. And I like them. I enjoy children. I enjoy their perspective. I enjoy their way of being. They're so free. They're curious. They're so in touch with their emotions, okay? They let it all out. They're going to tell you. You're going to know how they're feeling, okay? And I'm very playful. I have a little sister, and I'm like a second mom to my little sister, which is why it makes it extra difficult to leave. But I feel like it's something I need to do for myself. It's the right time. I also want to be making some money, get some more income that I can further invest into my things and just build my life. Like I feel ready to build, you know, and to create and expand and explore and adventure, and it's a beautiful opportunity. So I put all of those things in different words into the website and published. And then the next day, and I think I sent messages to 3 or 4 families in Italy, and I was looking in the south of Europe, really wanted Australia, but the borders are closed. And so, I was just looking in warm areas that were still had a good standard of living, and where the pay was high enough for me to feel like I was getting what I was putting into, I was being reciprocated. I like that with Italy you get an allowance, so from like 300 to 400 euros per month, and even some places 250, like more south, I think. And then you get free accommodation and food. You get food as well for your entire time here. So the day after I put the thing up on their website, I got like 7 families contacted me wanting to talk with me, and it felt really good because up until then I'd been searching for a couple jobs in Norway and not really getting any good responses. So this made me feel like I was moving in the right direction, like it felt reciprocal. Even getting some people that are close in my life telling me like, are you sure about this decision? Oh, I think you should stay, this and that, kind of just made my choice even stronger, because I felt like their perspectives was 1, coming from a place of fear, and 2, coming from a place of selfishness. Like, okay, if you want me to stay, what am I getting from staying? You know, it's like feeling kind of like people taking advantage of you without them necessarily doing it from a point of consciously, oh, I'm taking advantage of you, just like, I like you here, I need you here, I want you here, but while you're here, you need to do all these things, you know? It's like, bruh, no. No, no, no. You don't love me, and I know now. No, no, no. Go into a whole song. And then there was this one family, this one mother that said that she's vegan. And I didn't make a big deal out of like thinking I need to go to a vegan family, because I thought it's my choice. Is what I'm eating is what I'm eating. What you're eating is what you're eating. I don't care, you know? Or I care, but not enough to tell you what you need to do, because I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, so I'm not going to do that to someone else. It's not in my nature to tell someone you should eat this. Like, no, this is what I'm eating, and then if I get the question, why are you eating it, I'm going to tell you, and it's up to you to make the decision if that's right for you or not. Anyways, but some of the families that I was reaching out to, there was one family in Switzerland, or a single mom with her son, and I was telling her like, she was asking me, but you're vegan and we eat meat and cheese and all of that, and I was like, oh, that's fine, you eat what you eat and I'm gonna eat what I eat. But I could tell that she didn't want me there as a vegan, and then that got me thinking, maybe as a parent you don't want your kid seeing someone who's not eating meat and all of these other things, and then questioning, why is this person not eating? And then that becomes a whole situation. So I was like, oh, okay, I can understand why someone wouldn't want someone who's vegan for those purposes, which is his own thing. Like, we're not going to get into that either. So, she said she's vegan, and the allowance that they were willing to offer was higher than most of the Italian families that I've been talking to. And I was actually going to choose Switzerland for the money purposes, because like you got 6 to 7 euros working as an au pair in Switzerland, which is like double the price of what you got in Italy. So I was feeling more so like more like I want to go to Switzerland. But then turns out in Switzerland you have to take language courses, and a lot of the people, the families from Switzerland were German, and so I had to take German courses, and I was not interested, just straight up not interested in learning German. And like putting time and effort into that, because you had to like go take the courses and all of that. Yeah, no. no thank you. So and then I had a conversation with this family. We had one call, I think we had 2 calls before I came, and I loved how the mom's energy was so genuine. Like she was just showing up in front of the camera, right? Just being herself. It was like, okay, so here we are, you know? It was awkward and it was real and it was fresh. The son was upset because it was his birthday tomorrow and he couldn't celebrate with his friends, and the little girl was like hanging over her shoulders, and it was just real. I talked to another family, 2 other families, and they were more like, it's like they had bullet points of like, okay, this, which I can understand, because when you're coming in as an au pair, you're coming in as someone you're being trusted with someone's children. So it's not a small responsibility, right? And so I understand the desire for the bullet points, and I think someone would fit perfectly with that. Like, okay, yeah, let's get that structured. For me, it was too constricting, and it was too like, not the first one. The first one was cool because she was still very free, and I just didn't like the space that they were in. It was not as spacious as this beautiful place, and there were some things like, yeah, I was talking with the au pair that was there at the time, and she was saying, yeah, this stuff, the dad's gonna clean up this stuff, but he hasn't done it yet. And I just got a sense of it was one of those things, you know, when you get into a thing and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do that, and then 5 years later it's still there. Yeah. So it just felt right to come here, and that's what I did. And now I'm here. And it's been a month, 4 weeks. And it was 4 weeks yesterday on Sunday. I came a Sunday, and it was raining the day that I came, and it's raining today as well and yesterday as well. It's a beautiful place, and the family eats vegan almost most of the time. The children and the husband sometimes has meat, and like for me, I'm fine with that. It's there, you know, and they have vegetable, fruit gardens. They order and they buy almost all organic foods, whole grain pasta, rice, like kamut, farro, you know what I mean? Like, if you know, you know. It's just healthy, and I love how it just resonates with a lot of the things that I've been wanting to manifest for myself. It doesn't look how I thought it was gonna look. And I'm not speaking about the house or the family. I'm talking about when I was writing down my manifestations, wanting to have access to fresh gardens, fruits, vegetable gardens, organic food, vegan food. When I wrote down these things, I had my own idea about how it would look, right? Where I would be, the circumstances. But this is such a beautiful step in the direction of me creating the life that I want to create for myself, and I'm so grateful. And there's small details along the way that also like just are here to indicate like you're on the right track. Like, I've wanted these what are they called in English? You know, when you have a ceiling and you have those like things that you can see in the ceiling that look like a piece of wood, and it's like it's for decoration, but it's also for the construction purposes of the ceiling itself. I've wanted that too. Like, when I've been looking for apartments in Oslo, I've favored those apartments with those things in the ceiling, and this house has that. And something I didn't know before, they have a fireplace as well, which I love. And yeah, just these small details. And the mom as well, we resonate on so many levels. Like, she saw my stone, right? And she was like, oh, does it have properties? I was like, what you mean properties? Yeah, they even have some crystals here. There's like butterflies on the side of the wall. Just, yeah, there's so many things that's just, I feel favored, I feel blessed, I feel so grateful. And yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Yeah, I liked doing this because I put a poll on my Instagram and my Facebook whether you wanted to see a video about my au pair experience or my first bleeding, and most of you were saying you wanted the au pair experience. So maybe I'll do the bleeding next because there was people voting for both. But yeah, feels nice. I wasn't sure if I was gonna record anything from here. I didn't bring my huge camera because I didn't want to pack it with me. It's so big and bulky, and previous experiences I recorded like 1/7 of the time, just making me feel like it was so unnecessary to bring things, so that's why I didn't. But since I have my computer, I can still record a little bit here and there. And yeah, you're so appreciated. Thank you for the interactions, letting me know the kind of video you wanted to see, all of that. For the love that you shared on my last video as well, so appreciated. And I hope you're feeling good. Sending love your way. And see you when I see you.